13-year-old Lily had always been taught to be kind and helpful by her grandmother, who had raised her. After school one day, she saw an elderly man struggling to cross a busy intersection. Without hesitation, she approached him with a warm smile and offered her assistance. "Would you like some help, sir?" she asked, gently taking his arm. The old man, Mr. Thompson, looked surprised, but grateful. "Thank you, dear. These old legs aren't what they used to be." As they slowly made their way across the street, Lily chatted with Mr. Thompson, learning that he lived alone in a small apartment nearby. He had lost his wife a few years back and had no children to look after him. Despite his situation, he maintained a positive outlook on life, and his stories intrigued Lily. Once they reached the other side, Mr. Thompson thanked Lily profusely. "You're an angel, young lady. May the kindness you show return to you tenfold." Lily blushed and waved goodbye, heading home with a sense of fulfillment. She couldn't have known that this small act of kindness would set off a chain of events that would change her life forever. Over the next few days, Lily couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Thompson. She wondered if he was managing okay and decided to visit him on the weekend. On Saturday morning, she baked some cookies and walked over to his apartment, hoping to surprise him. When she knocked on his door, there was no answer. Concerned, she knocked again, louder this time. Just as she was about to leave, the door creaked open, revealing Mr. Thompson's frail figure. "Hello, Mr. Thompson," Lily greeted him cheerfully. "I brought you some cookies. I hope you like them." Mr. Thompson's eyes lit up, and he invited her in. They spent the morning talking, and Lily learned more about his life. He shared stories of his youth, his late wife, and the adventures they had together. Lily listened intently, feeling a growing bond with the elderly man. Days turned into weeks, and Lily visited Mr. Thompson regularly. She helped him with groceries, cleaned his apartment, and even read to him from his favorite books. Their friendship blossomed, and Lily cherished the time they spent together. One day, as she was leaving Mr. Thompson's apartment, she noticed a sleek black car parked outside. A man in a sharp suit approached her, introducing himself as Mr. Parker, Mr. Thompson's lawyer. "Lily, Mr. Thompson has spoken very highly of you," Mr. Parker said with a smile. "He has requested your presence for a very important matter." Lily was confused, but agreed to follow Mr. Parker to his office. There, she was handed an envelope with her name on it. She opened it to find a handwritten letter from Mr. Thompson. The letter read, "Dear Lily, your kindness and friendship have brought immense joy to my life. I have never felt so cared for since my wife passed away. I want to show my gratitude in a meaningful way. Please visit my apartment tomorrow morning for a special surprise. With love, Mr. Thompson." Lily's heart raced as she read the letter. She couldn't fathom what kind of surprise Mr. Thompson had in store for her. The next morning, she arrived at his apartment promptly, her mind filled with curiosity and excitement. Mr. Thompson greeted her with a warm smile. "Come in, Lily. I have something very important to share with you." They sat down at the small kitchen table, and Mr. Thompson handed her another envelope, this one marked, "For Lily's eyes only." She opened it and found several documents inside. Confused, she looked up at him. "Lily, these papers transfer the ownership of my apartment to you," Mr. Thompson said softly. "I have no family, and you've become like a granddaughter to me. I want you to have a secure place to live and grow." Lily was speechless. Tears welled up in her eyes as she tried to comprehend the magnitude of Mr. Thompson's generosity. "Mr. Thompson, I don't know what to say. This is too much." Mr. Thompson gently patted her hand. "It's the least I can do for the kindness you've shown me. You've brightened my days, and I want to ensure you have a bright future." Lily hugged Mr. Thompson tightly, feeling overwhelmed by his kindness. She promised to take good care of the apartment and continue to visit him regularly. Over the following months, Lily and Mr. Thompson grew even closer. She continued to help him, and in return, he became a mentor and friend, sharing wisdom and life lessons. The apartment became a haven for Lily and her grandmother, who moved in with her. One evening, as Lily and her grandmother were preparing dinner, there was a knock at the door. Lily opened it to find Mr. Parker, the lawyer, standing there with a serious expression. "Good evening, Lily," Mr. Parker greeted. "May I come in? There's something important I need to discuss with you and your grandmother." They invited him in, and Mr. Parker took a seat at the kitchen table. He opened his briefcase and pulled out more documents. "Mr. Thompson has made additional arrangements in his will," he began. "He has left you a substantial sum of money to ensure you and your grandmother are taken care of." Lily's grandmother gasped in surprise. "This is incredibly generous," she said, her voice trembling. Mr. Parker nodded. Mr. Thompson was a wealthy man, but he valued kindness and genuine human connections above all else. He wanted to reward Lily's selflessness and ensure her future was secure. Lily couldn't believe her ears. The news was overwhelming, but she felt a deep sense of gratitude and responsibility. She promised herself that she would use the money wisely, not just for herself but to help others, just as Mr. Thompson had helped her. As the years went by, Lily grew into a compassionate and successful young woman. She continued to honor Mr. Thompson's memory by volunteering at local shelters and helping those in need. The lessons she learned from him stayed with her, shaping her into the person she had become. One day, as she walked past the busy intersection where she had first met Mr. Thompson, she smiled to herself. That small act of kindness had set off a chain of events that changed her life forever. She realized that true wealth wasn't in material possessions, but in the love and connections we share with others. Lily lived a happy life. She graduated from college with honors and started a successful career in social work, helping others. She started a nonprofit that helps the elderly and poor. Lily's grandmother lived her remaining years comfortably and happily thanks to Mr. Thompson's generosity. She often talked about Mr. Thompson's kindness and how he changed their lives. One sunny afternoon, Lily stood in the community center she built. The walls showed pictures and stories of people helped by her organization. She walked through the busy center, greeting volunteers and residents, feeling fulfilled. As she went to her office, she saw an old lady sitting alone. Lily smiled and went over to her. "Can I help you?" Lily asked. The woman looked up, grateful. "A friend told me about this place. I need help and didn't know who to ask." Lily sat down and listened. She felt like she'd been here before. It reminded her of the day she met Mr. Thompson. She realized that life had come full circle, and now she could help others like she had been helped. Lily helped the woman and went back to her office. She sat at her desk looking out the window. She took out an old photo from her drawer. It was of her with Mr. Thompson, the day he gave her the envelope that changed her life. The doorbell rang. It was Mr. Parker, her lawyer and family friend. "Lily, I need to talk to you," Mr. Parker said, sitting down. Lily looked at him. "What is it?" Mr. Parker smiled. "I found out that Mr. Thompson had one last wish. He wanted you to have his old library. He thought it would inspire you and help you at work." Lily was surprised. "I didn't know." "Wonderful." Mr. Parker gave her a key and an address. "The collection is in a private library. It's yours." Lily went to the library the next day. It was a cozy place with lots of books. As she walked through the aisles, she felt a connection to Mr. Thompson. She knew his wisdom and love of knowledge would inspire her. Lily used the library to help her nonprofit. She organized literacy programs and educational workshops. The community grew and many lives were changed by her organization. Lily often thought of Mr. Thompson and how he had changed her life. His kindness led to a life of purpose and fulfillment. She knew he'd be proud of her. One evening, she found a note in a book. It was from Mr. Thompson. "Dear Lily, you're here at the library. I knew you'd do great things. Kindness and compassion are the greatest gifts. Keep spreading love and light. I'm always with you. With love, Mr. Thompson." Lily cried as she read the note. She smiled, feeling grateful. She would keep honoring Mr. Thompson by making the world better, one act of kindness at a time. And so the story of Lily and Mr. Thompson ended, but the ripple effects of their kindness and compassion continued to touch countless lives, proving that even the smallest acts of generosity can lead to the most profound and lasting impacts.